how you doing? How you feeling? Welcome to this week's episode of Search and Report. I am your host, True Fernie, and we got a lot of things to talk about this week. This week was just like, if you're a Nintendo fan, you got news up the wazoo. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of fan you are as far as like genres, there was something for you during this direct. But before we get into that, please make sure to follow me on all social stuff down below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I tweet into what is the void of social media. Also, please make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I try and stream pretty regularly. There's a lot of movement in my life right now that it's gonna be kind of difficult for me to stream pretty consistently, but I'm gonna try. And also, please make sure to join our Discord, where we talk about anything gaming. We share art, we talk about anime, we find other people to game with, etc. And yeah, just come on through. There is also a audio version of the podcast. You might be already listening to the podcast on the audio version on Spotify or Google Podcast. Just search for Search and Report on those platforms and it should come up. I'm pretty sure I'm the only podcast called Search and Report that search and reports gaming news, so you won't get lost. Real quick, what am I playing this week? What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury, which of course came out last week, February 12th. I beat it. It's super fun. I beat Bowser's Fury. I'm actually, after this episode I'm gonna try and record the review. It's a video on Bowser's Fury and how the future of 3D Mario is now gonna be determined thanks to this game. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, I should be able to have it up by this week or next week. I'm really excited for the future of the 3D Mario series. It's really exciting. It's really super duper. It's just fun. It's really fun. Also, I have been playing Breath of the Wild again. I know. I play that game too many times. Just too many times. I think this is like my 4th time that I'm about to beat it, including DLC. But I've been playing it because, as we all know, today is a special day. Today is Zelda's 35th anniversary. It's been 35 years since the first Zelda game came out for the NES. That is amazing, man. As we all know, on the 25th anniversary, 10 years ago, we got Skyward Sword. We got a whole bunch of different things for the anniversary. It was a great time. I remember it. I remember buying Skyward Sword and getting also the what was it? It was a CD. It was a soundtrack, but I think it was orchestrated. It was really nice. They did go out all on the celebration for the 25th anniversary. So, with the success of the Switch, I can only see and I can only predict amazing stuff for the 35th anniversary of Zelda. And how about we start there? How about we start with the Nintendo Direct that we just had? Nintendo announced a Nintendo Direct on Tuesday, I believe, of this past week. And they announced it for Thursday. So on Thursday, we got our first Nintendo Direct since, the first one in 18 months. It's been 18 months since the last Direct, and people were starving, man. If you haven't seen the videos that I made like 3 videos, I think, because of the Direct. Check out my videos on the Direct. I covered it extensively. And yeah, I mean, people were excited for this. Hopes were super high. Of course, I think it was destined to fail because it's been too long. It's been too long of a Direct since the last Direct. So how about we go through what was announced on the actual Direct? Of course, the Direct was announced through Twitter by Nintendo. Here, why don't I go to Nintendo's official Twitter. I should have probably linked this, don't you think? I should have probably linked this, my guy. Kind of messed up. but they did announce on February 16th. They announced tune in February 17th at 2 p.m. for a Nintendo Direct live stream featuring roughly 50 minutes of information focused on available games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and games coming to Nintendo Switch in the first half of 2021. So, of course, a huge focus for the Direct was going to be Smash Bros. I mean, it's how they started the Direct. The Direct actually started with an announcement, which if you go ahead and see my reaction to the Direct, and you'll see that I completely got it wrong. I did not know. At first, I thought there was just going to be a new Xenoblade game being announced, but I just didn't see it being, a Smash announcement. It was really fun. I think Pyra and Mythra being added to Smash is good. Even though the internet completely exploded, they're not happy. They're not happy that another anime sword fighter is getting added to Smash Bros, which I think is really funny because, I still have my bingo card up. Lamau. By the way, if you're watching the video podcast on my YouTube channel, please make sure to like and subscribe to the video. It was I just found it pretty funny how people were freaking out about another anime sword fighter, and yet anytime they ask for a newcomer or they want a new Smash character to be added to Smash, their wishes are literally anime sword fighters. Somebody was saying that we need Dante. I mean, I wouldn't call it an anime, but at the same time, like, it's the same thing. It's a human. It's a cartoonish human. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some people, I don't know. But there was a lot of controversy around this. There was also a huge controversy about sexualization, the objectification of women in gaming, which I do agree. The way certain content creators approach this was a little bit iffy. But I'm excited. I mean, man, I'm excited. Damn, they're big. Talking about objectification. Sorry about that. But yes, Pyra and Mythra have been added to Smash. I'm excited, the more smaller IPs that get, I mean, it is a Nintendo game. Smash Bros is a Nintendo game. So they will be giving Nintendo games, preference over who gets added to the Smash roster. But I'm excited. This kind of actually made me interested in playing Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm a big fan of action RPGs. Like, I mean, I love Legend of Zelda. I don't know if you can call that an action adventure RPG. But yeah, I mean, it makes me more excited to check out this game. I'll check them out later though, because I did just purchase Splatoon 2, which I'm kind of excited to get, and we'll get as to why, my reasoning as to why I bought Splatoon 2. Okay, relax, please, relax. I already hear people screaming, "Why are you gonna buy a 4-year-old game?" Blah blah blah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. But yes, we got Pyra announced for Smash Bros. They're coming in March of 2021. I do not believe there was an exact date set by the Smash Bros. Team. It was this kind of does bring up the question if Sakurai is going to do a Sakurai Presents on these two characters. I'd imagine he will, and because there hasn't also been, I think if you go to the Smash Bros site, there hasn't been a lot of information on these upcoming new characters, which kind of makes me believe that they're gonna drop some more stuff on us, whether that is a Sakurai Presents, whether that is an extra set of characters. I mean, we don't know. There's not much on their DLC page right now that says much about them, but hey, I'm excited, man. I don't care what people say. I'm very, very excited about these new characters. It's content, man. People freak out about the dumbest shit, man. We're getting free content for the biggest Smash Bros game ever. We're living through it. Like, come on, man. Just enjoy the journey. Okay, I would kill if I was a kid. and this was happening, if I was a kid and this whole thing was happening real time, I'd be losing my shit, man. Back in my day, we used to get a Smash Bros game and that was it. You didn't get anything added to it. You got Pikachu, Samus, and Jigglypuff as a DLC. It was just an unlockable character. And Ness, I remember when I first unlocked Ness, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? So, I mean, it opened up my world, and I'm sure it's opening up the world for a lot of younger people on these games. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. That's probably the one of the biggest news starting out from the Nintendo Direct. There were also some other small announcements from the Direct. I call them small just because I'm not that big of a fan of these kind of games. But of course, we did get Fall Guys announced for the Switch. We got Fall Guys announced for the Switch, which I found extremely interesting that Fall Guys took this long to get ported to the Switch. I mean, the Switch is the perfect party console. You can play it anywhere. You can take it anywhere. You can easily play multiplayer or, you know, the same room co-op, couch co-op with other people. Fall Guys is made for the Switch. It's the perfect party game. Like I just don't understand. They kind of missed their opportunity to bring Fall Guys when, you know, it would have actually made an impact for the game to the Switch. At this point, like, the game's hypeness has kind of died down. I'm sure people are still playing it because it's a great game. It's fun. It's very, very fun to play with people on the internet and with friends. But I mean, it's been over what, 6 months since it was released or more, and the way the world works today, your game is, if you're not Grand Theft Auto 5, you're probably your 15 minutes of fame are probably going to be 2 months at max, you know. So I'd love to find out why they took so long, why it took so long to port this thing to the Switch. But I mean, whatever, it is coming this summer, so if you're a fan of this, be on the lookout for Fall Guys. We also got a port, or, you know, we got, yeah, it's basically a port because we've gotten Outer Wilds for the some other platforms. I know it's on PC, I'm sure, and I think it is on the other home consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. People say this game is amazing. I have no interest in it, but it looks pretty interesting. It's a survival game, so hey, it got announced for the Switch. So if you're into that, check it out. Bro, how's my reporting? My reporting is amazing, huh? Some other things we got announced from the Direct. We got a Famicom Detective Glove. I'm just gonna go through these real quick because I have no interest in these. I really don't understand what they're about. I mean, I'm sure they're detective games or narrative-based games, but, you know, people were up in this Direct for two things only: Smash Bros, Legend of Zelda, and the final third thing. Why am I saying like that? And a final third thing, the fucking third thing, and some new announcements. So a lot of these things I'm just gonna gloss over real quick. We got an announcement for Samurai Warriors 5. If you're a big fan of the Muzu games, go ahead and check it out. I'm not really a big fan of Muzu games. The only Muzu game I'm actually a fan of is Age of Calamity, and more so is because of the story. Literally, if it wasn't a Zelda story, I would not have bought that game. And if it wasn't canon, I would probably still have not bought that game. But we got a new Warriors game in the form of Samurai Warriors 5. I'm going to say the art style does look pretty fun. It looks pretty interesting. But it is a Muzu game. You know, it gets a little bit repetitive. And if you're into these hack and slash games, go ahead. We got Legend of Mana announced as well for the Nintendo Switch. I know some people were extremely hyped for this. I'm not entirely sure what this game is from. But I mean, it looks really interesting. It looks an interesting game. Let me see real quick. Let me see where I can find some more information on this. Legend of Mana Remastered announced for Nintendo Switch. This is a Square RPG, which I believe was from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. It was a PlayStation RPG. Returns for first time in over 20 years to Nintendo Switch. The game's music has been rearranged for the remaster, and players will be available to alternate between the original soundtrack and the rearrangement. Legend of Mana is the latest remaster in the Mana series, following a series of remakes: Adventures of Mana in 2016, Secret of Mana in 2018, and Trials of Mana in 2020. People, fan of the Mana series, shout out to you guys. I'm sure you guys are excited as hell. I will say the game looks pretty nice, like for an RPG. It looks like it was ported over nicely. But hey, I'm not a big fan of these types of games. I'm not a big RPG fan. Turn-based RPG fan. Oh, let me clarify that. We did get a little bit more information as to what Monster Hunter is going to look like. Monster Hunter Rise, of course, is a exclusive Switch game coming over exclusively to the Switch. Bro, how good am I at talking, huh? But we got a little bit more in-depth look at the gameplay. We got some gameplay footage. We also got some information on the story. And yeah, I mean, the game looks fine. Like, I'm not the biggest Monster Hunter fan. I did play Monster Hunter, what was it called? Monster Hunter World. And it's okay. Like, it's just not my type of game. It's not my type of game, but I am excited that Monster Hunter is, like, at least Capcom is putting some of their eggs in the Nintendo Switch basket. That makes me hopeful that more third-party developers, as they've continued to be, they see that it's a huge player base in the Switch. Hopefully they keep on bringing these great games, this AAA games, to the Switch. I hate that people snub the Switch. Of course, it's not going to be producing 4K graphics, but it's still a great console, man. Like, it has everything for everybody, and it's portable. Like, Jesus Christ, man. But we'll get Monster Hunter Rise on March 26th. So it's pretty soon. It's like, what, less than 3 weeks? 4 weeks? No, actually 4 weeks. Literally 4 weeks. Damn, bro. Of course, the Monster Hunter Rise will get a special edition console and a Pro Controller edition for the game. Yeah, can't wait. And now, this one was a big one for me. I hate that people made fun of this. But yo, Mario Golf is a classic, man. Mario Golf is a classic game on the N64, on the GameCube. It was a classic. I think there was an SNES Mario Golf. I'm not too sure on that. I have to double check. But man, people hate on Mario Golf for no apparent reason. Mario Golf is a great game. It's a great party game. It's very fun. It's very funny to play with friends. So I predicted they were gonna bring either Mario Golf or at least a Mario Sports game to the Switch, which they needed, man. Mario Tennis was it was a 6 out of 10 for me, even less probably. It was like a 5.8 out of 10. The story was lacking, so Mario Golf, what is this called? I forgot. I already forgot. It was called Mario something Rush. Hold on. Why don't I just check it right now? Mario Super Rush. There we go. Mario Super Rush looks very exciting. Also, there is some added features to this game that I'm very, very excited for. Of course, there's speed golf, which, my guy, man, it's basically mini golf, or at least, like, you know, whoever gets their ball in a hole, that's what she said, first. Pause. Wins. And it's such a, I can already see the content that this game is going to create. It's going to be wild. People are going to be creating some fucking funny as shit stuff playing this game. I'm sure it's going to be super fun to play online. If remember, I on the past search and report, I talked about the new server that Nintendo is implementing. Hopefully that's an upgrade to the online experience for the Switch games. But I'm excited for this. There's a story mode as well that you can create your own character, your own me. I'm excited for this. There are some RPG elements to this game, which I'm excited for. And shout out to my man Wario, always looking so fresh and so clean. But yes, it'll be coming out on June 25th, which is pretty soon, I'll say. I mean, yeah, I mean, pre-orders are up. If you want to grab that, grab it already, I would just wait. I'm sure it's never gonna run out, so I don't know why would you even spend money right now. But we got also a bunch of different little games here and there between these big announcements. We got, of course, we got Tales from the Borderlands from 2K. This is in the same kind of storytelling, like narrative driven story gameplay from the Telltale games. RIP Telltale. It looks interesting. If you're a fan of these types of games, I would definitely check it out. It looks really good. So of course in the Borderlands art style, so it looks pretty stylistic. It looks pretty nice, and I think it ages pretty fine, and it'll probably work just okay on the Switch. Capcom Arcade Stadium, which is a collection of Capcom arcade games. This one was shadow dropped actually on the Direct. If you're a fan of Capcom arcade games, I would say go ahead and get this. It looks pretty good. I see that a lot of the arcade collections on the Switch are doing pretty well, and they're huge. They're like a great value for your dollar, and I think it's a great collection of games to get. We also got Asper Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse, which is coming out on March 16th. Yo, apparently there was a lot of, I don't want to say controversy, but this was a big surprise for a lot of people, especially like industry people, because I think this game runs on the Halo engine, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but this game, you know, runs on the Halo engine, which people started speculating, like, does this mean that they're gonna bring Halo over to the Switch? But hey, it looks pretty bad. The game looks, I don't care what people say, it looks terrible, but hey, it runs on the Halo engine. We also got some more information on No More Heroes 3. On my reaction for this game, I will say that the game looked very blurry. It didn't look very well. Like, it was extremely blurry. It was really low res. There's a lot of things happening. Like, it just looks muddy. Like, the graphics just look muddy on this game. And I hope this isn't what the final version of the game is going to look, because man, this shit looks like a mobile game. I don't care what people say, man. It does not look good. It does not look good. I mean, I don't know much about the No More Heroes games, but I know there's a cult following for them. But hey, if you want to check it out, it comes out on August 27th. We got a lot of other small announcements. We got what is this like little weird first person shooter, kind of mirror edges platformer. Sorry about that. Called Neon White. Sorry. The art style looks amazing. I'll say the art style looks very, very good. I don't know what the deal is with like shooting cards at opponents to kill them. Like, why don't you just give the character a gun? You know, I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But the art style looks amazing. It looks pretty fun. It comes out on winter 2021. So be on the lookout if you're a fan of FPS platformers. There was also some other smaller announcements from this Direct. I'll try and not go over them every single one, because I mean, this is going to be a long video already. There was the hold on, let me see real quick. There was this DC Superhero Girls Team Power announced for Nintendo Switch. Play as superheroes like Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl on this Nintendo Switch game, which comes out on June 4, 2021. If you're a fan, I think this is a great game for like little children. This is a great game for little girls. If they're into gaming, I think it's a great game for that. Obviously, we're not here with like gender norms. You play whatever you want to play. Hell, I love the color pink. But I think this is a great kids game, and people started hating on this game for no reason, man. Nintendo fans, a lot of Nintendo fans, and I'm guilty of this. We forget that these things are made for children. Like, video games are supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, but they're marketed towards children. Okay, they're firstly marketed to parents so they can get them for their children, and then to us. But like, people were hating on this game. They're saying like, what the fuck is this? What is this children's game, bro? You're playing, it's a toy. Nintendo Switch is a toy. I don't care what people say, man. Games are a toy. It's entertainment. Damn. Sorry about that. We also got Plants vs. Zombies Battle for the Neighborville Complete Edition, which is coming out on March 19, 2021. Knockout City. I was a little bit iffy on this game. I don't quite understand. Like, first of all, you'll have to see the direct to understand what I'm saying. But the way they market it or they announced this game, it's a little bit weird. It didn't make a lot of sense. But this game was developed by the studio that brought us Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Knockout City is a dodgeball multiplayer game which comes to the Nintendo Switch. I don't believe there was a date for this game. Like I said, it looks pretty interesting. The graphics look pretty nice, I will say. Hey, I'll probably check it out if it's free. I don't think they said if it's going to be free to play. It essentially is a battle royale, or at least like a team. Oh, there we go. May 21st, 2021. It is a battle royale type of game. I mean, it's team-based games. It's dodgeball. It's just a dodgeball game is what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm saying. But it is coming out on May 21st. World's End Club is a new game from the creators of Danganronpa. I can never say that name. Danganronpa and the Zero Escape series. We also are getting we got the final trailer for Bravely Default 2, which is coming out this week, February 26th of 2021. I've seen a lot of hype around this game. It looks like a really, really fun game. It's basically, obviously it's a RPG. Hey, if you're a Bravely Default fan, shout out to you. I have no interest in that game, but I played the demo. It's not my cup of tea. It's really not, but I like the art style. It's a really, really cool art style. I'm really digging these I don't want to call it diorama, but what's the word? There's a word in photography. I forget the name, but it makes everything look like toys, like miniature. And I'm really digging this type of art style and design choice for a lot of these games coming out. And talking about that, we also got a very, very big announcement from Square Enix. Square Enix. I never know how to say it. Where is this game? Here we go. Project Triangle, which is a strategy game, was announced for the Switch, and a demo was shadow dropped the same day. This is the newest in Square Enix's HD 2D series. Project Triangle Strategy is coming next year, but they did release the demo, as I already said. This is a successor, but not necessarily the sequel to Octopath Traveler. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of the art style that they're choosing, of the direction that they're taking for the design of the game. I did play a little bit of the demo. It's a strategy game. I'm not big on strategy games. I'm pretty bad at them. But it looks like it's really, really well done. It's really, really well done. Like I said, the art style is amazing. The controls are pretty smooth. And I found it interesting that there's a huge element to the game. So it's not only just strategy, turn-based combat. There's also exploration. There's also like intermittent sections, or like not sections, but modes of gameplay where you actually have to explore the worlds that you're in, the battlefield and stuff like that, which I found pretty interesting. And yeah, it's gonna come out next year. They did say that they're taking feedback from the players, so if you're a big fan of these types of games, I would definitely say go and check out the demo. It's free to download right now on Nintendo Switch. And it looks like a very interesting game. It's really fun. It's really pretty. I like it. Hey, I might check it out. People keep hyping up Octopath Traveler, so you never know. I might check this out. I might actually buy it. I don't know. We'll see. There's too many games, man. There's too many games coming out. There's not enough time, man. That's all I know. That is all I know. We got a short teaser for Star Wars Hunters, which is a free-to-play game from Star Wars coming out later this year. There wasn't an exact date given yet. Hey, if it's anything like Battlefront, I'm all for it, and I hope it is like that. I'm a little bit worried about it being free to play, because I know there's gonna have some pay to play mechanics. or it's probably gonna have also some microtransactions, which I'm never a big fan of. But hey, that's the price you pay for free to play games. We also got Hades, a physical announcement for the release, a physical release for Hades, which I already pre-ordered and I already am gonna get next month, hopefully. So I'm definitely gonna check that out. People keep hyping up Hades. I haven't played it. People say it's one of the best games of 2020. Let's see. But yeah, we got World's End Club coming out on May 28th. What else? Hades. We got a Ninja Gaiden collection announced for this year as well. The game looks pretty nice. I think this game was out for the Xbox One or the Xbox 360, I think. This collection. I'm not entirely sure. But the collection is coming out on June 10th. So this summer, be on the lookout for it. It looks really nice. I mean, I haven't played much of the Ninja Gaiden 3D games. It looks great. Like I'm really impressed with the graphical fidelity of the game so far. We did get some DLC announced for Age of Calamity. Yo, what the fuck is up with Nintendo? Like, just doing the complete opposite of what people expect. This was essentially one of their biggest holiday titles last year. I mean, not biggest, but I mean, it did sell pretty well for a Warriors game. And bro, the way they announced the expansion pass that they're adding to this game was so weird. It was literally just a graphic, which if you're watching the video version, it's literally just this. I had to pause the live stream to read this. But we are getting an expansion pass for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Not even a voiceover, nothing was said. But we are getting new, just some weapons, some costumes, weapon types, an expanded roster of characters, new challenges, new stages, but new character vignettes, which I guess is worth something. But it will be coming out, starting out on May 28th. I think it'll be available on May 28th. But it's coming out in waves. So the first wave will be on June 2021, and the second wave will be on November 2021, which I find rather interesting. This year it is going to be Zelda's 35th anniversary. It already is. It already started. So I'm kind of worried that this may be one of the few offerings that Nintendo gives us for The Legend of Zelda, besides Skyward Sword, which we'll get into in just a sec. But hey, there's an expansion. If you're into it, go ahead and check it out. There was also, finally, we got some footage of what Apex Legends is going to look like on the Switch. It is a little like iffy. It looks very, very, it definitely looks like a Switch game. It looks like a AAA PC game for the Switch. And I don't know how to feel about it, but hey, it's going to be free. You're probably going to play portably. You're going to be on your bed playing Apex Legends with a bunch of friends. So hey, if it runs well, it runs well. If it can run at 60 FPS, I'm all for it. I'll be happy for that. We'll see. It doesn't really look like it'll probably be 60, but it looks good. Another huge announcement, which, by the way, if you didn't check out my reaction to it, you better. But we did get Skyward Sword HD announced. Now, man, this game is the most polarizing game out. If you're a Zelda fan, you know what I'm talking about. This game was pretty polarizing at the time because motion controls is the biggest part of the game, and people don't necessarily like motion controls, including myself. You know, for your attacks, you had to shake the Wiimote like a sword. You know, there was obviously some point and shoot mechanics to the game, using the motion bar for the Wii, which would prove to be faulty. It's not the best, to be honest. I'm currently playing Twilight Princess on the Wii over on my Twitch channel, which you should follow. And yo, it's really hard to aim with this thing because I don't know. It's just faulty hardware in my opinion. But we did get an announcement of Skyward Sword HD at 60 FPS. The game, I will say, looks pretty nice. I mean, the graphics have, you know, they've aged pretty all right because it's not a it's not a fully realistic art style. Still kind of cartoonish. It's not necessarily cell shaded, not as much. I know, I think it is cell shaded, but hey, it's as good as a 10-year-old Wii game can look. It was I don't want to. It was remastered for. It's gonna be remastered for the Switch. I'm not a biggest fan of this game. I'm still kind of. I'm definitely gonna get it, but I'm still a little worried about that $60 price tag, man. There was a lot of controversy in the Zelda fandom right now because obviously this is a $60 game, even though it was priced at $50 when it came out for the Wii. You can say inflation, blah blah, how it works. I don't care. It was still $50. And even with there was a collection released for the Nintendo Wii, which I remember, which included the Motion Wii Plus. And I do believe it was a special edition for $70. I think it included the soundtrack as well. And I mean, I think just the pricing of this game, if they would have priced it at like 50, or I don't know, if they would have released this at 60 or 70, even at 70 with like a soundtrack or some goodies with it, I'd be all for it. I'd be like, cool, man. Yo, I think that's some good value, because they're still remastering a 10-year-old game for the Wii. I mean, for the Switch. And I mean, it looks 1080. It looks like it's gonna be 1080p 60 FPS, which, hey, all the more better. But another huge thing that they changed for this game, for this version of the game, is that now you don't necessarily have to use motion controls for this game, which thank God, because first of all, Switch Lite is a thing. Those don't necessarily have motion control. I mean, you can't detach the Joy-Cons from it. So they mapped a lot of the sword movements to your left stick, which I think will be annoying. How is your camera gonna work? Is that something people are brought up? How your camera would work if you can't use your right stick? Wouldn't that be annoying to have to reset the camera every single time you turn around? Oh man. Again, I don't think this game is worth $60. I'm sorry, man. But it will be available July 16th. It was also announced alongside some special edition Joy-Cons, which I will say they look pretty all right. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't like the look necessarily. Oops, I kind of already ruined what I was going to talk about, but I'm sure you already seen the Nintendo Direct. But we got some special edition Joy-Cons, which, yo, if you know anything about gaming and in the world that gaming is today, if you've tried to buy a PS5, you know that scalpers are already up in this bitch. These Joy-Cons are already being priced double the price of $70 on eBay, and I find that ridiculous, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous that controllers are getting hyped up this much. And Nintendo isn't doing shit, and the retailers aren't doing anything to prevent this, man. But hey, if I were to find them, I don't know if I'll get them. I'm not a big fan of honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Joy-Con designs. I think they look a little tacky, man. It's just me. It's just me, man. But the Nintendo Direct did end on a huge note. I think it was one of the biggest notes. Like, yo, nobody expected this. Nobody expected this, because we did just get a Splatoon game in 2017 for the Switch. And it's been, what, 5 years since it's released that this game is going to come out next. We did get a little teaser into what is going to be Splatoon 3. People lost their mind, man. People said, like, I did not expect this game to get another game for the Switch, especially in the same generation. I will say this is a huge leap of the Splatoon series. It does look pretty good. The graphics look amazing. It looks like there's some customization to it, which I know people love. So I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited for this. I'm so excited that I actually got Splatoon 2. Because I want to check it out. I played Splatoon 2 at like parties and stuff, but I never actually checked out the game properly. So I'm excited, man. I'm definitely going to get Splatoon 3. It looks pretty fun. It'll be interesting to see how this game plays, or what the world is. I will say, like, the cityscape, the city world, I should say, on the trailer that they showed. It looks amazing, man. It looks very vibrant. It looks very like lively. I think it looks like what Cyberpunk was trying to achieve. If I'm being completely honest with you, I feel this is what Cyberpunk was trying to achieve. But let me relax. Let me relax. We don't even know what it's gonna look like yet. But we did get announced that this game is gonna come out on 2022, so next year. So be on the lookout for it. Looks interesting. Looks super interesting. Looks really good. Really well made. I'll be honest. I don't know what they can add to a Splatoon game that's not already been added besides weapons, I think. But hey, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for a Splatoon game. I think it's a great IP. I think it's interesting just how fast Splatoon has like climbed the Nintendo ladder. Like at this point, I think the Splatoon is bigger than Metroid. And before you throw hate at me, bro, we're getting a Splatoon 3 game before the Metroid Prime 4 game. So don't hate me, man. I'm just the messenger, okay? But we did get that, which I also find pretty hilarious that we're getting the third Splatoon game before we even get a new Mario Kart game. It's been 3 Splatoon games since the last Mario game. Isn't that crazy? Nintendo's gonna keep milking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe until the end of time, man. I don't care what people say, but that is definitely gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be a Mario Kart 9 until the next generation, if I'm being completely honest. But hey, we'll see. Like, there's no point in them. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is selling like hotcakes. If they were to sell Mario Kart 9, I doubt people would go ahead and buy that one. I mean, people will definitely buy it, but the casual fan isn't gonna go ahead and buy another Mario Kart game. I'll tell you that much. Of course, a huge part of the direct for me, at least, has been the Skyward Sword HD. I already went through all that thing. I'm just gonna cut that. I don't even know what I'm bringing it up again. It was just part of my notes. I was like, what? Why are you bringing it up again, man? But that was the Nintendo Direct. As we all know, this week is also going to be Pokemon Week, which I also found pretty interesting that there wasn't any announcement from Pokemon during the Nintendo Direct. And I think it's because there's going to be probably a Pokemon Direct or some kind of Pokemon event this week. It is Pokemon Week after all. Today is the 35th anniversary of Zelda, which kind of leads me to believe. I don't know if I mean, I don't know, man. At this point, I don't think there's going to be a Zelda Direct. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. As you all know, my favorite video game franchise is Zelda. So I really want a Zelda Direct. I really want a Zelda Direct. I feel they still have some more stuff up their sleeve. As we all know, Eiji Aonuma did come out in the Direct and said that during the Direct there wasn't going to be any Breath of the Wild 2 news, but he did say that there's going to be some more news coming later this year. So I'm a little hopeful. I don't know if this game will be released this year. I don't know yet. It's too early to tell. But I do think this year we will see some more ports to the Switch as far as Zelda games. There's some rumors currently going on in the Twitterverse regarding the Switch ports for the Wind Waker HD remake that came out for the Wii U and the Twilight Princess HD remake that came out for the Wii U as well. Andy Robinson, who is a news journalist at VGC News, tweeted out this, and he's kind of like a figurehead in the gaming world. I believe he's had some accurate predictions in the past. He tweeted out, "For those disappointed with the Skyward Sword remaster, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are 100% coming this year." So that's at least one good 3D Zelda. Yeah, you got to throw shade at Skyward Sword, huh? The conveyor belt of Mario ports have totally converted my young daughters. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Sorry about that. But yes, the rumors have been growing in relevancy and have been growing in just frequency in regards to these two ports, which I'm extremely excited for. I'm very, very excited for these ports. As I said, Twilight Princess is my second or third favorite Zelda game. I just like the themes it deals with. I think the art style is pretty cool. I think the music is amazing. It's one of the best soundtracks on a Zelda game. Yeah, I mean, Wind Waker is a classic game. I can replay that game multiple times and never get tired of it. I know people hate the map sometimes of it. I know people hate the treasure hunting, but this is the HD ports that we're talking about, which kind of did some quality of life upgrades to those two games. So, hey, if this is true, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If and I think it will be true. And if the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD ports are brought onto the Switch, I don't think they'll cap off the holiday year. I mean, the holiday time or the holiday release with Breath of the Wild 2. It'll be hard, but I mean, it's up in the air right now. A lot of things just don't make sense from Nintendo at this point. I mean, I'm just excited to see what happens for Metroid, because Metroid is also celebrating their 35th anniversary this August. Nintendo has said that they don't want their anniversaries to overlap. As we all know, we're still celebrating Mario's 35th anniversary. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it runs through to March. Mario anniversary, it started in September 3rd of 2020, but it will end on Wednesday, March 31st of 2021, which hopefully after March 31st, we start seeing some more Zelda stuff. I hope. We still don't know, but hey, be on the lookout for that March 31st date, man, because after that, I think things are going to get crazy. As we all know, Zelda is probably their second biggest franchise for Nintendo. But yeah, that's a huge part of what the news were this week. As I said, I usually try and bring the latest and greatest news in gaming, but this week was completely hogged by Nintendo. We also got BlizzCon, which I can probably talk about that a little bit. We definitely got BlizzCon I think it was this Friday, if I am not mistaken. Hold on just a sec. Yeah, so we got a few things announced during BlizzCon 2021. We got Blizzard Arcade Collection announced. Which include some games such as The Lost Vikings, Blackthorn, Rock and Roll Racing, etc., etc. Like I said, arcade collections are great, man. They work pretty well. I feel it's a great way to repackage some of these old classics. They got rewind. They got some added like quality of life features, some UI. They got filters. They got rewind features, etc., etc. So I'm always excited for these type of games, man. I feel like retro gaming is making a huge comeback. I feel it's going to be, with the more expensive the games get, the newer releases, I feel people are going to start going back to retro games. I think it's like the obvious next step in like a lot of gaming trends. We also got a World of Warcraft Shadowlands patch 9.1. It'll be coming to World of Warcraft, which brings players to a new location called Korthia. With the new location comes new quests, a new 10 boss raid, an 8 boss mega dungeon, and more. By the way, if you want to link to all these summaries, they're on IGN, and if you look down in the description below, you'll see you'll see the links to these new sites. There was a World of Warcraft The Burning Crusade Classic expansion announced. Blizzard continued its trip down memory lane during the opening ceremony with the Burning Crusade Classic and expansion coming later this year. This features a level cap of 70, 2 new races, flying mounts, and more. We got a Hearthstone Forged in Barons expansion and Mercenaries mode. It was revealed that Hearthstone is getting its very own Warcraft themed expansion called Forged in the Barrens, and a new mode called the Mercenaries. The upcoming expansion brings 135 new cards and will kick off the year of the Gryphon. We got Diablo 4 Rogue class trailer revealed. This it looks really fun. I'm not a big fan of the Diablo series, but I can see just their appeal. I remember one of my first games I bought for the Switch was Diablo 3. I returned that bit, but relax. But it was a really fun game. It was really, really fun. It was pretty cool. Here they released a cinematic trailer for the game, which I will say it looks really, really nice. It looks really cool. I mean, Diablo games always look pretty sick. They got some great art styles. They got some great topics and some great environments that they create. And hey, I'm excited, man. This game looks pretty neat. But yes, we got a 4-minute look into this new game, Diablo 4. Check it out down in the description below. We also got Diablo 2 Resurrected announced. It will launch on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch. They're bringing over this classic game, classic game, and remastering it for the newer consoles. More games to you. And then after the show, we actually got a pretty in-depth look of what Overwatch 2 and an update as to how Overwatch 2 is coming along. Which, hey, this is my controversial take. The game looks nice. Overwatch 2 is a great game. It's one of the first PC games I ever played. Overwatch, obviously the first one back in 2016. That's how I got into PC gaming at first. Some friends just, they said, hey, you can use my PC. We're playing Overwatch. You want to come and check it out? Checked that out, played it. I got hooked. It's a fun game. It's a great game. Let me take a swig of this water because my mouth is dry. But Overwatch 2, man, looks pretty much the same. It looks pretty much the same. Obviously, there are some new characters. There's some new stages. There's some new sound effects and stuff. But, man, the game just looks like it should have been a patch to Overwatch. Why are they creating a whole new game, dividing their player base? They already got a huge player base on Overwatch, the first one. Why are you going to just migrate everyone over to Overwatch 2? I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. But Overwatch 2 is getting they at least showed 2 new Overwatch maps on the Overwatch 2. They're in Rome and New York. I don't know if this is going to be the only 2, like I said, the only 2 levels they're going to add to the game, but whatever. There's going to be some PvP changes to the game. They showed off the new character Sojourn. I can't say the name. She uses a railgun designed to bring back some of the feeling of classic shooters. The gun requires accurate use and can rip through enemy health bars. They say that Overwatch 2's PvP leans heavily on the existing Overwatch structure. But the team is making experimental changes that make Overwatch's 2 PvP a big departure from the current live version. They're working on some role passives for the game's background abilities that affect an entire class of characters, etc., etc. There is some hero missions mode added to the game. Campaign details, going to have a campaign apparently. I'm all for story. I'm always up for story modes. The hero progression, this was a huge part that they delved into, which is basically skill trees. And like I said, man, this could have been just a patch to Overwatch. I don't understand why they're making a whole new game just to add these things. 2 maps, character, story mode, skill trees. Just update the game. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't understand developing, so I'm probably just talking out my ass right now. There were some look changes to some of the heroes. Some enemies added to the... Hold on. Oh, there's some enemies added to the PvE mode. So, hey, it looks exciting, man. I mean, more games, whatever. The more games there are, the happier I am. But at the same time, I think Overwatch 2 is one of the most necessary games coming out. Sorry. Hate me. Drop a dislike. I don't care. I do not care. But that was pretty much the big bulk of BlizzCon. It kind of went under the radar, except for the Diablo news, of course. But as I said, a huge part of this week has been Nintendo. Mario's 35th anniversary still going strong. I don't think there's going to be anything else announced for Mario's 35th anniversary. I may be wrong. We still got a whole month to go. Zelda 35th, of course, started today. Here's hoping that the rumors about a Twilight Princess port and a Wind Waker port are true, because hey man, at least those games were remastered pretty well for what they did. There were some quality of life changes, which I'm excited for. So we'll see, man. I'll be getting, man. Why am I even lying, man? I'm definitely gonna get Skyward Sword. Why am I even lying to myself, bro? I'm gonna get that fucking game, and I'm gonna hate myself for it. I'm gonna play it on stream, which you should definitely check out, and make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I stream pretty sparingly. I'm gonna start saying pretty sparingly, but I'm gonna be trying to get back on my game. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter, where you can keep up to date. Is where I spend most of my time, is how I mostly communicate with everyone, and where I communicate what I'm up to. Also, please make sure to join our Discord, where we talk gaming news, where we talk anime, where we talk movies, where we talk anything and everything that might be of interest of a nerd such as yourself. And yeah, please make sure to listen to this podcast on the go. If you're not watching the video, Jesus, man, if you're not watching the video version, what the fuck? My body is exploding, man. What the fuck is going on with my fucking stomach? Okay, let me relax. You can listen to the video, to the audio version of this podcast on Spotify and Google Podcast. Just search for Search and Report. Our logo is a little Game Boy, with just the word Search and Report on top of it. What other Search and Report podcast is talking about gaming news? Probably none of them. So the more you know. And yeah, folks, I've been True Frenny. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Hold on, I forgot to mention. I'm excited. I'm excited for Splatoon 3. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace.